This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Venezuela. I'm kidding. Welcome to the Jason Walker Show. Maybe I'm not kidding about so much. We are presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana Law says it's your vehicle, it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave on a finally Friday. Big show today. We got predictions for the playoffs. We have Bryan Haines talking Gov Cup. Barry Abrams previews today and tomorrow, but tomorrow's big race in the Breeders' Cup, and a whole lot more. But let's get right to our first guest, because I've held him off all week, and put him off. We welcome him now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Sam Fetzer joining us now. Sam is the husband of injured Carroll College softball player Michaela Boyette Fetzer. Sam, how are you doing?
Well, I am a lot better than a couple weeks ago when it first happened. And same with Michaela as well. She's doing actually fairly well considering how bad the accident was. So,
take me through the accident. And I've shared the GoFundMe page, and it described her injuries, which were traumatic. But what exactly happened?
So she was going on her way to Big Fork, Montana, and she's actually going to go help her parents out with a relative stayed up there. And from what we've heard from the report is she was on her way up there. Roads were pretty slick. And she just lost control of her vehicle and slid head on to another vehicle. And from there, Ovando and other volunteers that saw the accident happen and the fire department, they actually, took care of her, got her out of the vehicle, kept her warm during the cold weather. And then they sent her right to Missoula, and she was there for about a week, just over a week. And then we just got down here to Salt Lake about late Saturday night.
Now, so this wreck happened, 2 weeks ago today, I guess, right? Is that accurate?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
It was 2 weeks ago.
I've read some of her injuries. We've talked about some of the injuries on the air, but broken tibia and fibula, lung collapse, some rib injury, some kidney injury. Obviously, everybody's concerned too, a brain injury. What exactly is wrong there?
So physically, everything's doing okay. The lung is not collapsed anymore. The fibula is all taken care of due to surgery. She's actually doing PT as we speak right now. For her brain injury, what they call it is it's a dysaxial annual. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but
you're not quite a doctor.
No, not even close. But what it is actually there's small shearing in the brain. What happened in the frontal lobe? So somewhere, somehow, she hit the steering wheel, the airbag, or something, and caused the brain to, shift and move pretty bad. And on top of that, there's actually a severe concussion. So she is suffering from some amnesia, so past and present, forgetting some memory here and there. But for the most part, she understands, everything, where she is, what she's doing, and why she's here. So
there's some positives from last week. because I think I first heard about this last Friday, Sam, and it was Coach Burnell, Sarah Burnell, was telling me about it, and she was talking. Michaela's talking, but couldn't really understand much last week. But she's doing better now.
That is correct. So
that's awesome.
We are down here in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the Craig building, the Craig Rehab building, and it's actually one of the best in the nation. So we're pretty excited to get her here, and they actually allow visitors. So we've actually been up here daily, hanging out with her and actually seeing her improve. So just this week alone, she's improved, significantly. So
that is awesome. Sam Fetzer joining us, Michaela Boyette Fetzer's husband. You guys just got married, last year or the year before?
Yeah, 2019.
Okay. You guys are young.
Yeah, we are. She's 20 and I'm 22.
Okay. And obviously, I mean, this is we're not even focused on playing softball in the future at Carroll College. What's her future here over the next month as far as rehab, and then, a few months down the road and 6 months to a year down the road?
Well, as far as we know right now, definitely next few months, a lot of rehab. Physically, she's improving a lot more than they thought she would be at this point. So that's really positive. Mentally, that's kind of the main reason why we're here, down in Salt Lake, to take care of that. And she's also, improving with that as well daily. So it's definitely going to be, a few months down the road. But it sounds like she will recover. It'll just take some time. So.
And obviously, you said she's in physical therapy as we speak. What's her day like right now?
She usually wakes up about 6:30. Just kind of on her own. Gets breakfast, gets ready, and then about 9 a.m. till about 3 p.m. in the day, she's doing occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. But luckily, speech, she's completely fine with talking and everything. They actually kind of help out with occupational, so they kind of just help in with that as well. So,
man, that is just the news from where we were last Friday to today is amazing, and obviously super happy everything is on the upswing. How have you been holding up? Because she's getting around the clock care. How are you and her parents holding up, and everybody else?
Well, Michaela's father actually 2 years ago now, he was actually in a really bad accident as well and had suffered, some brain damage as well. And he is actually handicapped. And so for her mother, it's, definitely hard on her because this is round 2 of this. And at the time when that happened, I was just getting into their lives and kind of spending time with the family. So I kind of understand that as well. But I think we're leaning on each other pretty well. And Aaron and Sarah, they've been taking care of us best they can, and the team. And same with the conference, Cascade Conference. We've heard a handful of coaches and players reach out to us. So that's been really helpful as well. And as long as the Carroll team as well, all the teams like basketball, football, we've heard more than we've, thought we had friends of. But so it's been really helpful.
Sam Fetzer joining us, the husband of Saints softball player Michaela Boyette Fetzer. Does that bother you when we keep saying Boyette?
No.
Because that's how we know her. That's how she was recruited.
Yeah.
And everything. It's just awesome that she's on the upswing, and you mentioned the family direct, but the family at Carroll, the family in the conference of the Cascade. This is one of their own was injured, and they're helping to take care of her, and I think that's awesome.
Yes, and Michaela is well aware of that. We have shown her videos, what have Carroll posted and sent me, and same with the College of Idaho. We've heard from Eastern Oregon, so it's been really great to show her, and she knows how loved and supported she is through sports. So great.
Sam Fetzer joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. All right, so I mean, we're obviously a ways away from being completely out of the woods, but tell me about the doctors and the nurses down there. Well, you said you're in the Craig building, I believe. So what's it like?
Well, this building's actually, 5 months old. So they were actually in an older building prior. So everything in the whole building, smart related. So everything's ran by an iPad or your phone. So really up to date, which is helpful. And the nurses and the doctors, they're always, in and out. A lot of them are actually prior athletes, even some from the Cascade Conference. So we've actually talked to a few from there. But a lot of them are, prior athletes. And so they understand, Michaela, how she's thinking and processing things. So it's really good to have them come in and, work with her and figure out a way how to, make sure, the whole day's being, worked out as hard as possible for Michaela. So.
Well, it's just it's great news. We've shared the GoFundMe page. Is there any way else that people can reach out, or is that where you just want to send them?
There's fine. And if anyone wants to message me, through social media or by phone, whatever, I always have it on me. So that's the best way to either talk to me. We'll try to get Michaela to get her phone, a little bit here more when she's a little bit more understanding of things. But yeah.
Well, we'd love to have her on, when she's ready, just to give us an update. It's just we feel for the family. We feel for obviously her, but you too, man. And we just want people to help out as much as they can and reach out. So you're at Fetzer_Sam on the Twitter. Is that right?
Yes, and
okay.
That's the same as Instagram as well.
Okay.
So.
I got to ask you this though, because the picture you sent me, you're in a Dodger shirt. Is that? I mean, are you seriously a Dodger fan?
Well, we went to a Dodgers game for our honeymoon.
Oh.
So, I guess I've kind of converted to a Dodgers fan, but she's a big Yanks fan.
Oh
so,
no.
So we have our arguments, but
that is awesome. I'm a Mets fan, so I can't say anything. But so tell me how you proposed.
Well, let's see. It was actually in Montana. So we're born and raised down here in Salt Lake. She, wanted to go up there for a weekend for Carroll camp. So we went up there, and so we got up there, and we went up to the H on the hill, the hike. And so we went up there, hung out for a little bit, and then I just asked a question right there. So.
Wow. And obviously, I mean, did she cry? Did you cry?
Yeah, there's tears from both of us. So.
And where was the wedding at?
We had it down here in Salt Lake.
Okay, because both your families, obviously. So.
Yeah, correct.
And then, so do you go to Carroll, or what's your story?
So what I do, I'm actually in the Montana National Guard.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you.
Yep. So, so I've been in the Guard up there for going on 2.5 years now. And it's, the greatest decision I made. I love it. So.
Well, it's the second best decision you made. The first one was
You're right.
Was asking her out. Was asking Michaela out for the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Sam, we appreciate it. Give her the best from all of us up here, and we look forward to talking with her down the road with recovery, and we'll continue to spread the message and help out as much as we can up here.
Great. Well, appreciate it, and great talking to you.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. That is Sam Fetzer joining us from Salt Lake, the husband of injured Carroll softball player Michaela Boyette Fetzer, and we took you through some of her injuries, but that is awesome. So from where we heard, like I said, a week ago to where she is now, it's night and day, based off what her husband Sam just told us. And we wish Michaela and Sam the best moving forward. It's going to be a long, hard process, and she'll make it through. And he's a good dude too. So that's fantastic that she's doing so much better. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to chat racing. Gov Cup got canceled because of COVID this last June. It is one of the best races in the nation when it comes to qualifier for the Boston Marathon. It's just a great race. The Gov Cup, they have new swag. The registration starting soon. We'll talk to Bryan Haines when we come back here. Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. And vehicles getting injuries or accidents. We just talked about Michaela Boyette's injury, Fetzer, and in her car accident. And if you're in a car accident, and that was a terrible segue, but to take your vehicle to Capital Collision Center. The customer service that I received after my accident, unbelievable, unmatched. And what's great about it is, they have a playbook. Football teams have playbooks, basketball teams. Well, to get manufacturer certified, it costs a lot of money. And Capital Collision Center invests in its employees, invests in the equipment, and to make sure that your vehicle is done to manufacturer specifications. And it looks like my vehicle, when I got it back, came out just directly off the lot from GM or Chevy. But it's beautiful. Capital Collision Center gets the job done. They get it done right. Montana Law says it's your vehicle. It's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Coming right back with Bryan Haines. It's 18 after the hour. Jason Walker Show.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana State law says it's your vehicle, and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Fall is officially here, and now is the perfect time to get your rig tuned up before the big hunt. That means a lift kit from Auto Concepts. An Auto Concepts lift kit will help take you places only the animals can go. And when you do get that big one, make sure you have help to get it home with a winch to pull it out. Or maybe you'll be a good friend and help pull someone out of the snowbank. Check out AutoConceptsHelena.com for more ideas. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back on a Friday, Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We're going to talk to Barry Abrams from ESPN In the Gate podcast coming up. We'll get a Breeders' Cup preview, who to bet on for tomorrow. and on this day in history, and much more coming up. But it is time to go to the phones once again on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline and welcome in race director of the Governor's Cup at govcupmt.com, Bryan Haines. And I'm supposed to ask you, Bryan, Ty Ridgway wants to know how many miles you ran last night at Open Gym.
Way too many. I'm way too old to be going up and down the floor with those young kids. So my lungs are burning. That's for sure.
Oh man, appreciate the swag. By the way, you dropped off. I got a new hat to wear, a Governor's Cup, 12 Days of Christmas, and a scarf. What's the 12 Days of Christmas here, Bryan?
Yeah, so it's. I'm glad you got the scarf and the hat. It'll keep your head warm this winter. But yeah, so Jesse Zent and I, obviously we had to cancel the Governor's Cup this past June, and so we're kind of kicking around ideas. And we thought a virtual run in December would be something fun to do, and especially because there's really, and granted, I mean, it's December, not a lot of people are thinking potentially about getting out and running. Well, there's not a lot of say December events, running events in Helena, so it's something new that we wanted to try. And you mentioned the beanie. It's a little bit fun swag. Everyone gets has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 race shirts, so we want to do something different. And yeah, we're excited. The reception has been great, and we're looking forward to seeing photos of people out running around their beanies here in the next month or so.
Well, it's really cool because it's a nice. I mean, I like the color scheme and everything. You guys did really well. How much did Jesse actually help?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw the commercial we put together. I mean, his acting was top notch. But yeah, he has a great input. And yeah, it was kind of a brainchild of both of ours. So yeah, it's and the beanie, yeah, the color scheme is great. It ties up well with what it supports, and that's the Caring Foundation of Montana. So when folks register for the 12 Days of Christmas virtual run, you're also supporting the Caring Foundation, and that helps to provide preventive healthcare services to Montanans across the state. So not only are you running for your health, but you're running and or walking for the health of Montanans everywhere. So
it's a virtual run, and I've seen a lot of these deals on the internet over the last 7 months or so since COVID. How? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you bet. So, and it's really flexible. And as you know, I mean, even like your phones, you can track your steps. Most everyone, has a Fitbit, has a Garmin, so you can go out. If you have a favorite training course you like to run a training route, you can run that. Keep track, of your distance and your time, and then you can go in to run something up and post your time. And you can also, if it's like it's going to be this weekend and we get a foot of snow, come December, you can, run it inside if you go to your local gym, if you have a treadmill, even if you have, say, a Peloton or something like that, where you can track your distance and your time, and you can post it that way. And, you don't have to run it, and you don't have to complete the entire 5K in a day. If you say at lunch, you walk half a mile a day, you stay at lunch, keep track of that time and that distance. And once you get to, a little over 3 miles, there's your 5K and you post that time. So it's really a great way, to kind of stay involved, stay active, especially right now, as you mentioned too, when you have to take into account COVID and, mass participation events and such still aren't really, are hard to do. So this is a way where you can kind of participate and do a run, but, do it either by yourself or say a couple friends, and stay active and give you something like a target or a goal to look forward to and complete.
Bryan Haines joining us, the Governor's Cup race director here on the Jason Walker Show. I love this. It's super cool, and maybe this might actually be the one time that I can get involved, and especially if I don't have to do all 3 miles at once.
Exactly. Kind of take a photo each day of, even if you, walk around going downstairs and upstairs back and forth to the man cave, I mean, there's some steps for you. So.
There you go. I like that. Hey, I didn't even think about that. And I also I walked 9 holes today. Got probably the last round of golf in for the year. but that all adds up too.
Exactly. Every little bit counts, as they say.
Bryan Haines joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Registration for the Gov Cup, that's coming up, and it starts this month in about 10 days. Are you excited?
We are. We'll open registration November 16th, and we're excited. There's a lot of planning to do between now and race weekend, which will be June 11th and 12th. But right now, we are planning on hopefully being able to welcome people to have an in-person event here in Helena. 7 months. There's a lot to be determined. But yeah, we are hopeful and optimistic that we'll be able to be welcoming runners here in about, here in second weekend of June.
When you and I talked last year, I think it was the middle of April when you officially pulled the plug on last year's Gov Cup. But if those that had registered were able to keep their registration for this year or for next year, is that right?
Yeah. So we gave our runners 3 options. They could defer the race registration to 2021. They could ask for a 50% refund, or they could just make their race registration fee a donation to the Caring Foundation. And the bulk of folks who signed up, I want to say, probably more than 300, did defer to 2021. So, yeah, there'll be, and those folks will be getting an email here next week about how to complete their deferral, get signed up for the 2021 race. And, we'll also have options. We'll have an in-person event option, and we'll also be offering a virtual option right out of the gate, because even if we do, if everything tracks the way, we hope it does, and we're able to have an in-person event, we do understand too that there will be some people who aren't comfortable, still running with an in-person event, but we still want to get people who may, be nervous about that, or they may be nervous about traveling up to Helena, the option to still partake in the Governor's Cup. And so all our main events will have a virtual option right off the bat.
Bryan Haines, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. A couple final questions. You're getting a new governor because of term limits, but is Greg Gianforte, is he a runner? Do we know?
I don't know. That's we'll find out. He has a lot on his plate, getting ready for make that transition. But, we're looking forward to engaging with Governor-elect Gianforte in his office, and I know he'll be involved in one way or the other. And since Governor Tom Judge founded the Governor's Cup in 1974, I was looking. This will be the 8th different governor that we will have the privilege of working with. So yeah, we're looking forward to working with Governor-elect Gianforte and seeing exactly just how involved he wants to be. I don't know, maybe the 5K fits his running style a little bit more than say the marathon or the half, but we'll find out here in a little bit.
Well, he is a hunter, so he can put on some distance, I'm sure. So we'll see.
Exactly.
We know Governor Bullock was heavily involved, and he competed every year when he wasn't having knee surgeries. What about Governor Schweitzer? Did he participate at all?
I honestly, that's a good question. I don't know if he actively, participated in any of the events. I know he supported it, and I'm sure he was at the starting line festivities at times. I was actually during that time out of state, so for some of Governor Schweitzer's time. So that's a good question. I'll have to ask Jesse Zentz. He would probably have a better idea than I would, but definitely not to the running extent as Governor Bullock. He's pretty impressive that way.
I'd have to look back too. We'll have to ask Jesse this and about Governor Roscoe, Governor Martz, and now she was a fantastic young lady, and she was a Olympic figure skater. She could probably, or speed skater. She could have probably run the race too. So I'm guessing she was involved. But.
Oh yeah, I would say yep. I would say yeah, definitely. She was involved. Governor Roscoe, obviously Governor Judge. Yeah. So
it goes way back a little bit.
It does.
You start going too far back, and I don't even. I was in high school in the early '90s. I don't remember. I didn't even take politics serious back then. So
which is a good thing. That's, that's probably the way it should be.
Yeah, there's probably people that take it way too serious now. Bryan Haines, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. The running world lost a fantastic man not too long ago with the passing of Tony Banovich, and I know you worked closely. We had Jesse Zentz on to talk about Tony, but what was your relationship like with Tony, and how much is the running world going to miss him?
Tony was fantastic, especially from the standpoint of, he was a great advocate of the Governor's Cup. He ran in so many of them. And even though, he, turned the Missoula Marathon kind of into a monster, and they've done a wonderful job, but he was always willing to lend an ear, help us out. We worked together to create the trifecta for half marathon runners to complete the half marathon with the Governor's Cup, Missoula Marathon, and the Bozeman Marathon. So first and foremost, he was a great advocate of the Governor's Cup, and he was a great resource for me as a race director. And it's a huge loss for the running community, not only Montana, but, really across the nation, because again, he helped turn the Missoula Marathon into one of the premier running events in the country. And that's pretty impressive when you consider you have Boston, you have Chicago. And we have, a marathon in our state that is top 5 in the country. That's amazing. I was saddened and, stunned a little bit to hear that news. And, it's a loss for sure.
Bryan Haines joining us, Jason Walker Show, the race director of the Governor's Cup. Go to govcupmt.com. Get all your info as far as 12 Days of Christmas, the virtual marathon, and start getting registered. Think about getting registered for next year's Gov Cup coming up in June 2021. That registration starts off here in about 10 days. Appreciate the swag, my man, and I got to set up a meeting with you to get Blue Cross Blue Shield on board on the Jason Walker Show.
That's right. And me and Jesse Zentz, he'd be the ear to put that little bug in. But no, I appreciate the time, Jason. I know it's a busy sports season right now. We have playoff football. I saw you're going to talk a little Breeders' Cup and such, but I appreciate fitting in a little Governor's Cup. And we have about 10 days left of registration for the virtual 5K, and then registration for the 47th annual Governor's Cup opens up shortly thereafter on November 16th.
Fantastic, man. I appreciate it, and look to stay involved and stay in touch with you as we move forward here.
Sounds good, and enjoy the foot of snow we're about to get.
I know, yeah. I didn't enjoy it a couple weeks ago. We got that 20 inches, and the snowblower was broke, so I had to do it all by shovel. Yeah, but it's fixed now, so I should be okay for this weekend.
That's good stuff, and it's always nice to golf on Friday and snowblow snow on Sunday.
Yeah, welcome to Montana, right?
Yep.
Thanks, Bryan.
You bet. Thanks, Jason.
Yep, have a good one. That is Bryan Haines joining us on the Jason Walker Show, race director of the Governor's Cup. And go to govcupmt.com. It's a fantastic website, and those guys that and gals that put on the Gov Cup, fantastic. But yeah, so get signed up for that virtual marathon, or 5K, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if it's really hot in here, so I don't know if the hat. I can't fit it over the headphones anyway, so we'll get it on. But appreciate Bryan joining us. You did mention football playoffs, and let's get right to our football playoff predictions coming up. Let's start with tonight's games, all in the AA. You've got Capital traveling down to West. West is unbeaten. Capital coming off the big win last week at Butte, getting to go on the road again for the second straight week and the second straight year heading to West. West got them last year, but I think, man, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be an absolute just great game. Capital's defense against that West offense. Now, Bozeman almost upset West. Now, would it have been a big upset? Who knows? And again, without that crossover that we haven't seen this year from West to East, I like Capital the way they're playing right now. And I'll take the Bruins on the road over the Golden Bears tonight, 17-14. Bozeman at Helena. Two great offenses. We don't know what Caden Hewitt's status is. That is a legit game time decision. If it's Dexter Tedesco, it's a different offense, but still high powered for the Bengals. And then that front seven. Yeah, they got exposed a little bit with Sentinel, but literally so is everybody else. Bozeman at Helena tonight. We talked to Scott Evans yesterday. He said pick 14-13 Bengals. I'm actually going to go 20-14 Bengals tonight over my Bozeman Hawks. I know it pains me, but I got to go with the Bengals. I like the way they play. If they can contain Kenneth Iden IV and that powerful offense. Great Falls High at Missoula Sentinel. Sentinel is going to destroy the Bison. It's not even going to be close. And then Glacier at Senior. Tough road trip. And I got Senior at home tonight. Or that'll be tomorrow afternoon, I'm sorry. So that'll be tomorrow at Dallas because West is hosting tonight against Capital. So take Capital on the road, Helena at home, Sentinel at home, Senior at home tomorrow in the AA. All right, let's move on. Big Sandy at Floyd Lake. Big Sandy's going to win. These games tomorrow all at 1. Shields Valley, White Sulphur Springs. This game looks awesome. And, oh, man. I gotta go with Shields Valley on the road. I know what the Hornets, I feel them, love them, but I got to pick Shields Valley on the road tonight, or tomorrow rather. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go to Joliet at Fort Benton. Great game. We're at that point where they're all great games. Jayhawks, Longhorns, Fort Benton at home gets the win tomorrow. Fairview traveling to Drummond-Phillipsburg. Got to go with Drummond-Phillipsburg. Shelby at Park City. Oh, man. Park City's going to pull it out at home. Thompson Falls travels to Scobie. I'm going to pick Thompson Falls tomorrow on the road in that one. Columbus is at Glasgow, and Glasgow's going to get the win. Malta, Manhattan. Sneaky good. Manhattan at home tomorrow. Put it down. Whitehall at Fairfield. Trojans have had a good year, but Fairfield gets the win. Let's see. Where else we got? Townsend at Florence Carlton. I like it. I'm going to pick the Bulldogs on the road. Picking the Dogs from Townsend tomorrow on the road. And then, let's see. We have, what else we got? What happened to my computer screen? Oh, man. I haven't even started talking politics, and all of a sudden I get shut down again. Thanks, Big Tech. What are the other two games? There's two more we have to pick. So we had Townsend on the road at Florence. Let's see here. Can I get to... We picked that one. So I'm picking Big Sandy to meet Shields Valley next week in the championship 6-man. Okay. Let's go back to Class B. Nope. Okay, Laurel at Hamilton. Oh, Class A semifinals. Here we go. Laurel's playing good. Hamilton looks real good. I'm taking Hamilton at home. And then that means that Hamilton will face the winner of Miles City at Billings Central in the state championship next week. And who will Hamilton play? Miles City and Hamilton will play for the Class A championship next week. Those are my predictions. Those are the predictions. And real quick, Tom Wiley once again did a great job putting together the distances traveled this week. Capital to West, 234 miles, 3.5 hours. That's the longest road trip in AA. No, it's not. It's a second. Bozeman at Helena's 98 miles, an hour and a half. Well, they have it hour 52, but you can do it in a little under an hour and a half. Great Falls at Sentinel, 167 miles, 3 hours. Glacier at Senior, 7 hours on the bus for the Wolfpack, 452 miles. Average travel time in the AA, 3 hours, 50 minutes, 238 miles is the average distance. Total distance, 951 miles, 15 hours, 21 minutes. Class A, total distance, 500 miles. Travel time 3 hours 50. Laurel to Hamilton, 5.5 hours, 354 miles. Miles City at Billings Central, 146 miles. Class B, shortest, Whitehall at Fairfield, 152 miles. Townsend at Florence, 166. Malta at Manhattan's 315, and then Columbus to Glasgow, 322 miles. Total travel time, 15 hours, 5 minutes, an average of 3 hours, 46 minutes. In 8-man, fun ones, Joliet at Fort Benton, 239 miles. That's the shortest. Shelby at Park City, 319 miles. Fairview at Flint Creek, Drummond-Phillipsburg, 560 miles, 8 hours, 22 minutes, and that's not even the longest. Thompson Falls to Scobie is 616, 10 hours, 9 minutes. Total distance, 1,734 miles, 26 hours, 52 minutes. Total travel time, average, 434 miles, 6 hours, 43 minutes. And then in the 6-man, let's see here. Big Sandy to Freud Medicine Lake, 320 miles, 5 hours. Shields Valley at White Sulphur Springs. Now, I don't know if Tom took Shields Valley from Clyde Park or Wilsall, but it's 43 miles from whichever he took. So it's just about a half-hour road trip. All classifications, ready for this? 280 miles is the average distance, 4 hours, 26 minutes on the bus. Total for all 5 classifications, 4,483 miles, 47 hours, and 51 minutes on buses. You could go from New York to L.A. and then, halfway back? As much total distance is going to be taken. In fact, Thompson Falls to Scobie, Thompson Falls is closer to the Pacific Ocean. It's, what did we say it was? 600 some miles? 616 miles. It is actually closer from Thompson Falls to Seattle, Portland, Edmonton, Boise, Ogden, Jackpot, Nevada, Buffalo, Wyoming, and Chaplin, Saskatchewan. So there you go. Fun stuff. Playoffs in Montana, you got to love it. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk Breeders' Cup next with Barry Abrams. Coming right back. Hang on.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Jason Walker here, and I want to tell you about a great place that's going to make you feel better in just an hour. Ocean Spirit Massage. From deep tissue to hot stone and more, Ocean Spirit Massage will get your sore, tired muscles feeling like new. Whether you overdid it working out, hiking the hills, playing golf, whatever it is, or even if you're pregnant, you will walk away feeling better than you have in years. Book now for yourself or make it a couples massage. And gift certificates are always available as well. Visit oceanspiritmassage.com or call 417-0542. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Think about getting a great Christmas present for yourself, for a loved one, friends. Go to marklaroephotography.com. He's got unbelievable photos of landscapes, animals, just great stuff. marklaroephotography.com. Mention the Jason Walker Show. If you buy some, get 20% off. All right, got the Breeders' Cup coming up tomorrow. The big one. They actually running a few races today in Kentucky. The rest coming up tomorrow, including the Classic featuring Tiz the Law, Authentic, and more. And to preview the Breeders' Cup is our horse racing expert. He works at ESPN In the Gate podcast. He is the host, Barry Abrams, joining us now. Jason Walker Show. All right, Barry, I appreciate you joining me once again. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. How's it going?
Well, there are no sports going on, so why not horse racing at this point? Everything's being quiet with the exception of football. And yes, football is king, but football's once a week. There's got to be something else.
Exactly. You got to be happy, though. New ownership for the Mets today. Steve Cohen taking over. That's good news.
And more importantly, he's cleaning house in the front office for a team that only had 6 analytics advisors when most teams have 20. And yes, analytics advisors got a bad name when Kevin Cash pulled Brad Snell from the 6th game of the World Series because the analytics told him to, and they went on to lose the game in the series. Mm-hmm. But still, more data is better than less data, and the Mets need more data. Clearly, they need more data.
They also need more players and better players at times, too. So. But anyway, Barry Abrams, the host of In the Gate podcast, joining us. And we've talked the Derby the last couple years, the Preakness, the Belmont, but we've never talked the Breeders' Cup. Why is the Breeders' Cup so important in the world of horse racing?
Well, it obviously has a lot of money at stake. And when it started in 1984, there were 7 races. Now there are 14 races. And these are basically divisional honors. And so, yes, when you win a top-level race, and the top being grade 1. The best races have graded stakes numbers next to them based on all kinds of performance analytics. We were talking about analytics. Grade 1 is the top. You win a grade 1 race, you have a career as a breedable horse, stallion or mare. But these races are championship races. You win one of these, and your breeding value will go way up. So these are huge races, and everybody watches them, and they basically decide year-end championships for better or worse, for the most part, unless something crazy happens. So this is something that the sport never had until 1984, and, they just would run races, and then they'd run some more races. And now the Breeders' Cup kind of gives you a season, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You start leading up to the Kentucky Derby, and that becomes a season, and then most of these owners will back time from the Breeders' Cup to have their horses ready for this weekend. This is huge.
And it's 2 days long. Obviously, races today, the big one tomorrow with all of the big names that we know. But these are all great horses that we have heard of or have seen all year long, correct?
And not only from here, but from Europe, too. Now, European racing is mainly grass racing, so you're not really going to see many Europeans run on the dirt course, especially in the Classic. But some of the best Europeans are here to run on the turf, including a horse named Camico, who won the first Triple Crown race of the year in England, which is called the 2000 Guineas. It occurred in June. It normally would occur in May. Obviously, the COVID shutdown changed that.
Sure.
But Camico won the 2000 Guineas, and he is here to run in the Breeders' Cup Mile. That's big. I mean, the European turf horses are the best in the world. So now not all of them come here. The ones who come here usually like to run on ground that's hard and firm. When you run on turf, the condition of the ground makes a big difference in your performance. And so in Europe, it rains a lot. It's kind of like being in Seattle. And so horses that run well on soft turf, especially in the fall when it rains a ton, they're going to stay there. but trainers who think their horses would run better on firm turf will bring their horses here, and Camico is one of those. So you have the best from here in North America and several of the best from Europe. So it really feels like a world championship.
Barry Abrams, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. Obviously in the Classic, these are the names that we saw a lot this year in the Triple Crown races. A Tacitus, a Tis the Law, Improbable, Authentic. And then last year you look at Maximum Security. But this is a great field, and I like it. Who do you favor in this one?
This is a fascinating race. Bob Baffert has the best three contenders, and they're all starting next to each other and all on the outside. Improbable, Authentic, Maximum Security. Maximum Security has yet to cross the wire first in a race that didn't involve a disqualification or a controversy. He obviously finished first in the Kentucky Derby, disqualified. He finished first this year in the world's richest race over in Saudi Arabia in February, and he was disqualified from that for a failed drug test. So he has yet to have a definitive victory. He's won almost everything else that he's entered. He got beat by Improbable the last time out, not by much, certainly not to discredit him. And so he stands every chance to win this race tomorrow. It's a fascinating race. Improbable was kind of chitty bang bang early in his career. Fits and starts as a 2-year-old, fits and starts as a 3-year-old, and he figured to be the type who would never fulfill his promise. And then came this year. He didn't know that 2020 was supposed to be the year to throw out, because he's been tremendous. He won the Santa Anita Handicap. He won the Whitney at Saratoga. I was there to see that. Couldn't go inside. Stood outside the wrought iron gate and watched it from the street. And he has been consistent, too. So these are the top three contenders. Now, can Tis the Law beat them? I mean, Tis the Law came really close to Authentic in the Kentucky Derby, and Authentic set the pace in that race, and you figured Tis the Law was right there hanging on him in the stretch, and it was just going to be a matter of time before he went by. It just didn't happen. But now you've got a deep field, and I don't see Authentic being able to hold all of them off. I don't think you should count. A lot of people have been counting out Tis the Law because he couldn't get by Authentic that day. I'm not counting out Tis the Law at all. I think it's going to come down to Improbable and Tis the Law, and then you could flip a coin to figure out who's going to win that one. If I had to guess, I would probably say Improbable, but, man, that's not with any conviction.
We haven't chatted since the last Triple Crown race. How about that filly that I ended up picking after I talked with you that day?
I mean, it was the right setup for her because she likes to go long, and Ken McPeak was determined to keep her running against 3-year-olds only instead of older horses, which you would normally have to do at this time of year. Usually by the end of August, the races for 3-year-old only are over, and you're expected to face your elders. Well, now she's going to have to. And Ken McPeak, the trainer, toyed with the idea of running her in the Classic because she had won the Preakness, but instead she will go in the Distaff. And that, to me, is a smart move. Not only because I think the Classic is a little bit too long at 1.25 miles, which is a 16th of a mile longer than the Preakness, but also because the best horse that would have been eligible for the Distaff, Midnight Bijou, had to be retired with an injury. So, yes, there are plenty of good horses in the Distaff, but the best one is not. So, to me, I would do what Ken McPeak is doing and run her in the Distaff, which he will.
It's a fantastic weekend of racing, and it floats around the country. This year it ends up outside Lexington, I believe Keeneland, right?
Keeneland, which is right next to Bluegrass Airport, could not be any more convenient, except that fans are not allowed.
Hey, Barry, I saw an article the other day, and I wanted to bring this up knowing I was going to chat with you, but it seems that a lot of the issues from last year, such as at Santa Anita, a lot of those issues have kind of gone away for the most part, it sounds like, with horses expiring on the track or afterwards having to be put down. Is it starting to get better?
Well, I mean, put it this way. it's never enough if any horse dies anywhere. Let's start there. But it is nice to hear a media member actually bring up the fact that there were no fatalities in the fall meet at Santa Anita this year. There were no fatalities in the summer meet at Del Mar. So they clearly had to pay more attention, and they are paying more attention, and they have more equipment, which we detailed on Indicate earlier this year. They have more equipment with which to test a horse's legs, to get better scans if there's even something that isn't a problem now, but could become a problem later. Now, they are among the only places right now that have this particular scanning device. I presume it will become more widespread as time goes on. So there is clearly much more attention being paid to this now than there was 10 years ago. But as I say, one is too many. And so not every meet had a 0 fatality rate. Until we get there, it's clearly not enough. And one thing that is happening, I know horse racing people do not like when I bring up the name PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, but they are a watchdog organization, let's put that euphemistically, and they have actually bought stock in 5 different gaming companies across the country that conduct racing, including Penn National and Caesars, which operates Indiana Grand. And they want a seat at the board meetings so that they can hold the board members accountable for equine safety and welfare. And while there's definitely the potential for them to cause trouble, it's still a good thing for officials and executives in racing to be held accountable. That can only, to me, mean that they will do more for the equine, for the health and safety of these horses.
Well, we've appreciated the coverage all year, and I know you got to run to dinner and then a hockey game tonight, but appreciate the time, and hopefully we can chat before the Kentucky Derby next year, my friend.
Hopefully it happens in May. We wish you the best, my friend, and we will speak to you at an appropriate time.
Happy holidays, and take care, man.
To you as well.
All right, take care, Barry. Barry Abrams from ESPN's In the Gate podcast joining us here. Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Such a great dude and so knowledgeable. I mean, if you want any horse racing info, he's why we have him on the show. Breeders' Cup tomorrow, I think 3:18 Mountain Time it goes off, and I think it'll be on NBC. Real quick, 986 new cases in Montana today of COVID, 37,947 total. 419 deaths, 437 in the hospital currently, 13,921 active cases, and 23,607 have been recovered. 3,132 in Yellowstone County, 1127 Gallatin, 1848 Cascade, 1286 Missoula, 1,007 Lewis and Clark, 860 in the Flathead. What are we doing? Just wear your damn mask if you have to. Seriously. All right, on this day in history, let's get to it. It is November the 6th. 1 year ago today, I got fired. 1 year ago today, I got fired. Best thing. So much stress, like not even, I love it. I love what I do for you. And we have great sponsors now here on the Jason Walker Show. Today is National Jersey Friday, Nachos Day. It is Saxophone Day as well. 1869, the first football game in college played, where players used their hands or feet. 6-4, Rutgers beat Princeton. 1961, the U.S. government issued a stamp honoring the 100th birthday of James Naismith. He invented the game of basketball. He was actually a Canadian, but on this date in 1861, he was born. He's also one of the 4 driving forces behind the NAI National Men's Basketball Tournament at Kansas City, Missouri. The Naismith bracket. We talk about it. 1887, Walter Johnson was born. Happy birthday. 1976, it would have been 44th birthday for Pat Tillman, the great Patriot. 1987, happy birthday, Ana Ivanovic, Serbian tennis player. won the French Open in 2008, was world number 1 that same year, born in Belgrade, Serbia. 1860, Abraham Lincoln elected the 16th president. 1888, Benjamin Harrison. 1900, William McKinley win. 1928, Herbert Hoover elected president. 1940, FDR reelected. 1956, Dwight Eisenhower reelected. 1968, Richard Nixon elected. 84, Ronald Reagan reelected. 49 states he won in defeating Walter Mondale, who won Minnesota and D.C. 2012, 8 years ago, Barack Obama, Ofradma, was reelected. There you go. That is that. This is this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
What a great week we had. Steve Daines, Senator, reelected. Had him on the show Tuesday. Tim McMahon, Helena Schools Activities Director. We talked with Amy Tarkanian, former GOP chairwoman of Nevada. Also got to talk to Michaela Scott Evans, Sean Gleason, CEO and Commissioner of the PBR. Sam Fetzer joined us today. Bryan Haines, Barry Abrams. If you missed anything, you can go to jasonwalkershow.com and rewatch any show from this week. Next week, we got Flint Rasmussen coming up on Monday. We'll preview the PBR, which starts next Thursday down in Arlington, Texas. AT&T. Jerry's World. So there you go. All right. Final thoughts as we leave. Walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco, 625 Euclid. We don't know who the president's going to be. Let the courts handle it, okay? Let the lawyers handle it. Be nice to each other on social media. Be nice to each other wherever you go. We are witnessing one of the biggest fraud elections in the world, in the history of the world. Venezuela doesn't even do it this bad. Just keep counting votes until you elect who you want, right? Hopefully we have, we'll just let the courts play it out. We'll see you on Monday. Go to jasonwalkershow.com. Be nice. See you Monday at 4. Have a great weekend. Stay warm and enjoy the snow.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.